In the last lesson, you changed some properties using Design View, but it's also possible to do the same thing in Source View. This is useful when your page contains hidden elements or is too complicated for Design View to display properly. Some developers prefer to work in Source View most of the time. In this lesson, you'll use Source View to change the properties of controls on your page. To begin, open the Shining Stone sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open by.aspx in Source View. Now you're going to change the properties of some of the controls on this page by using the Properties window. First, scroll down until you see the Text Box Address 1 text box. Now click on the line that begins ASP text box ID equals text box address 1. The line is highlighted in grey, and text box address 1 is also automatically selected in the Properties window. Now find the text property in the Properties window and set it to Enter Address. After a brief delay, Enter Address appears on text box address 1's line in the HTML code. Now view by.aspx in your web browser. Changing the text property has placed the text Enter Address inside the Address 1 text box. The text property is useful when you want to display default text in a text box control. Now close your browser and return to Visual Studio. Next, reselect the text box address 1 control by clicking on it, and delete the text that you placed in the text property. When you press Enter, the text is removed from the code. If you now view by.aspx in your browser again, you can see that the text has been removed from the text box. Close your browser again and return to Visual Studio. Whenever you change properties using the Properties window, the page's code, which you can see here in Source View, is being updated. This also works the other way around. If you change properties in Source View, they will change in the Properties window. So next, you're going to manually change some properties by changing the code in Source View. Although you can use the Properties window to change properties in Source View, Source View is really intended to be used to edit code manually. Click in the space just after ASP text box underneath Address 2 and type text equals Enter Address. You have just manually set the text property of text box address 2 to Enter Address. So view by.aspx in your web browser again, and you can see that the text has been placed in the second text box, just as you'd expect. Close your web browser again, and remove the text property by deleting the code that you added. Source View can be very useful, as it displays all of your page's code. There are some things that Design View is incapable of displaying, but Source View will always display everything. Close Visual Studio now, saving your changes if prompted. You've now completed Lesson 114, Change Properties in Source View.